First I seek, and I'll find in you. I don't know why I have nothing else matters in my head.
Your handler didn't authorize this sortie either. But we shouldn't miss this chance. I'll support you.
Air will support me. Hell yeah.
Main system activating combat mode.
Let's get rolling, Tor. Destroy all the hacking drones those degenerate coyotes left here.
Let's be quick about this, Raven.
Security breaches reached 10%. Firewall's going down fast. Must be about 5 drones to pull that off.
Confirmed. Target destroyed. 4 to go.
Straight out of the gates. Keep it up, tourist.
Second target destroyed.
I get why they want our tech. I just wish they had a little more flair. If it were me, I'd raid us from orbit and just yank our servers off the ground.
Confirmed. Target destroyed. 2 remaining.
Guess I better get to work on our countermeasures. The coyotes are using RATMTs. They're hot stuff on the black market. Still,
4th target destroyed.
one left. You'd have to try to mess it up now.
Destroyed.
Wow, that was fast. Sent the coyotes and their pals a little counter-virus. Their servers are officially fried. Maybe that'll teach them to behave. Wait, the radar. Are there more of them?
They're outside. Let's move to intercept.
Alright, let's take out fucking Iguazu.
I see the coyotes got some help too. Don't forget to smile, tourist.
You know, I really owe you one. You got lucky at the dam, and I'm gonna prove it. You're gonna die, freelancer. noise again. It'll be peace and quiet when you're gone.
Fucking kidding me.
I've seen that kind of stealth before. I'm gonna have to look into this.
Raven, those unidentified machines were using encrypted communications. I'll do what I can to decrypt them.
Oh my god, I can get the best viewers? Are you sure? What if I wanted better viewers? B, asshole. I gotta be. That was a good one.
Raven, you've made your decision. I'm sorry.
Boo-doo-boo-doom, doo-dum-dum-dum-dum.
Main system activating combat mode.
All right, let's roll. We've still got time until V1 deploys. Deal with the corpse heavy hitters first. We need you to have a chance at winning this. No pressure, tourist.
D2, situation report, sir. We've engaged the independent mercenary.
So that's where the mutt has been.
I've got fire to put out on the ground. By all means, take charge of the troops. My machine is breaking up!
Target destroyed. Keep it up, tourist.
We're taking a pounding, Chief. Looks like they boosted some of the PCA's best hardware.
Hear that, tourist? Let Chatty handle the starboard wing for now. You need to deal with the target.
Visuals on the independent mercenary, sir. Understood. Eliminated!
Now we've got an HC. Guess Archibus likes to recycle too. Because that PCA tech is a waste.
Work me business. D2, sir. Is V1 ready to... I told you not to bother the club. Handle it. Mercenary.
Looks like we've secured the area. Resupply while you can.
Enemy reinforcements, Chief. Too many to handle.
Where do they even find all these people? Go give Chatty a helping hand, tourist.
I got you, Chatty. Like, both
Chief,
of the endings,
enemy detected.
I
Coming
end
in
up...
hot.
I don't know how I want to explain this. I feel like both of the endings, I end up betraying people that I like. Michigan dies regardless, which bothers me. I don't know.
ID code reads V1.
V1. Freud's making his move. Hurry it up, tourist.
Kept me waiting, tourist.
You made it. Chatty, good job.
I got your back, Chatty, for while you're alive.
Did what I could. Now we can fight back.
Reading most of those C's. And a pulse protection drone.
I'll move up front and draw their fire. Chief, V1 is close.
Oh yeah? No rest for the wicked.
Seems they weren't so trivial after all. Never mind. That's what we have B1 for.
Freud.
You must be Raven. Never sparred with one of Walter's hounds before. This had better be worth it.
I'm gonna give you something.
Let's get this trash out of
No!
the way.
No! Chatty! You fucking bastard!
Chatty! Chatty, he's...
You'll pay for that shit.
AI
Fuck you. Yeah, we're finishing this. Yeah, bro. Thought you liked the thrill of the hunt, sweet bitch. Woo. You're hitting up that fucking mothwood.
I haven't seen moves like that before.
Yes, bro. I'm out here.
This is no time for fun and games, Freud. Our objective is to seize this island. You can ignore the butt. Yes, Snail. You're right. Now then, let's continue.
Shut Snail up. I got something for that bitch later.
You fight like a hound on the hunt.
Oh yeah, baby daddy. You know I'm on the fucking hunt. You know I'm on the fucking hunt. And I fucking get that smell, that whiff. And it's a wrap, sweet bitch. It's a fucking wrap.
What I wouldn't give to fight like this forever.
Show him that we're not doing this for fun.
Fucking Freud. What I wanted. Come on, give me what I need, Freud. Give me that shit. You got nothing for me, bruh. You got fucking nothing for me. Come on, need that fucking stacker. There we go. Swap his ass. And then let's fucking finish the dog. This is for Chatty, bitch. Boom.
Confirmed. V1. Freud down.
Sorry, Chatty.
I was right to bet on you, tourist. Me, Walter, Chatty. We were all counting on you.
Oh, give me an A. That's good. That's good. It's not terrible. It's not an S. It's not terrible.
In the spring of '74.
I'm waiting at the closure station. Come to me, Raven.
Oh, fuck. This is the final fight with Air. Alright. Let's do an actual hard fight. Fuck you, Freud.
This ship's pretty roughed up. Autopilot's out. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. I'll leave the satellites to you, tourist. You know, for a tourist, you've got a sense.
Main system activating combat mode.
Not much.
How you doing?
I'm doing alright. Just finding out that this is going to be another week without work.
Another week, bro? I'm so fucking sorry.
I wish they'd give us our layoff so I can fucking just figure out some friggin' options, right? Like if I need to go look for more work.
Don't even worry about it. It's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm gonna give you 7%. I promise. 7%. A strong 6. A strong 6. I'm not even mean 7. I'm sorry. Just saying.
God damn. A whole 6% on a 5-person split? Damn, it's like it just got... Sounds like I just got the cheaper end of the bargain.
Man. So, what you doing? You want to hang out? I'm streaming right now, live on Twitch.
Yeah. I'll hang out. Yeah.
Doing some,
Doing some AC.
I realize what you are. The spark of war.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that really is. Why does it... I've got the friggin' noise suppressor now. Why is it picking up my friggin' TV? I hate that.
holy shit. Holy shit, her second fucking phase is no joke. How did I beat this before? Just got lucky, I guess.
Yeah, that typically happens.
Humanity wants to burn it all. Everything will work on. I won't let you. Your fire must die.
God damn it! Holy shit.
I'll end.
I fucking had her. But, for some reason, my gun just...
Main system activating combat mode.
I will stop you and the silo. Carry our shared resolve on the wings of this machine. Symbiosis, a shared life. I saw the potential for our future up in there. You and I could have walked together.
Oh, you're doing the worst ending.
Yeah, well, I'm just replaying the thing of the ending that I hate. I know. I love our hair. She's the best girl. The best Rubiconian thing.
At 30%.
I'll end this, Raven.
So you think you can't air. That's why it hurts so much.
50%.
fucking.
My brothers and sisters.
You're fighting for a good reason, Air. You are.
Humanity wants to burn it all. Everything I know. I won't let you. Your fire must die.
AP 50%.
Oh. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Air. I'm sorry. R.I.P. Had to kill that bitch. Alright, meet me in stream chat.
Alright.
Bye-bye, Air. R.I.P.Z. for Sheezy. I got an A on that one. Thank you. Not an S. Fuck. Not an S. Bruh, guess how much comb I have? 25,271,436.
Jeez.
I got you, fam. You need that dough? I got you.
If only you could actually...
Like, bet people comb per match. That'd be fun. Or I could bet you 25K of my shit. But then people would just be exploiting that and they would, like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go, Raven.
I also changed up my main build from the ketchup and mustard color to something a little more stylish. White and black with red accents.
Sounds interesting. Let's
Yeah,
see
I
what
prepped.
it actually looks
I prepped
like.
a couple of chicken breasts because I'm gonna make a mozzarella chicken sandwich.
It looks like the guest of honor's here. Hey, buddy. I never thought I'd be rubbing shoulders with the liberator of Rubicon.
All right, you dick.
Main system.
Can I put on?
Activating combat mode.
Man, bruh.
V4. Rusty.
Man, having to
This is
fight
such-
Rusty is the
This is
worst.
such a good fucking the Karen line mission,
Activating combat.
bruh. It's the best one
V4.
because you're fighting with Rusty and then he goes off to destroy the fleet that you destroy in the other
Never thought the
storyline,
plan would go so wrong.
or you have to kill
It's
him.
good teaming up with you again. Couldn't have hoped for a
I
better
fucking
solo
hate
line.
having to fight Rusty. Rusty and Michigan are like the best characters from their respective factions. That's including Rusty as both part of the Vespers and part of the Liberation Front. Fuck Snake.
Even more of our
And Iguazu.
Man, but bruh, look at the fucking mech that Rusty has, bruh. It was specially designed. You have to watch the fucking body fucking story, bruh.
Oh yeah, the
It's
skill
all-
is.
It's a 5-hour fucking video. And you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna start it now. I'm gonna play that shit while I'm doing this.
Oh yeah, yeah. Your usual you usually do have a video on in the background of this.
Only if you pay attention, daddy. Rubiconians, baby. Forged in assholes, we stand as one.
Forged in ass, we stand as one.
Keep pushing them back.
I gotta restart this one. But here, I'm gonna play the Vadi video.
The Vadi Vidya.
Forged in ass, we stand as one.
Ah, yes. The infamous Vadi video, Confessions of a Cartel Smuggler.
Look, that's what I was gonna watch before, some gangster shit. You're lucky I got a fucking hankering for something else. Could you imagine if Vadi was a cartel smuggler?
I could see him being a pretty decent cartel smuggler.
He'd be the best cartel smuggler, bro. He would and then he would make the best video about how, and then you shove it directly inside of the asshole of the donkeys. It's like, oh, the donkeys, oh. like you haven't heard that shit before. Oh yeah, the donkeys, yeah, that's right. Aren't you dirty whores? Open your ears and spread your cheeks for Vadi Vidya.
Coral is an organic substance capable of self-propagation. The speed at which it proliferates is determined by the density of the colony.
You're watching, right, Silver?
As such, a vacuum would provide an ideal environment to maximize coral density. However, one must not overlook the signs of mutation within the coral brought about by this density effect. It is mutations such as these that will bring about a collapse that humanity has no hope of controlling. Assistant number 1 has lost his mind. His research has utterly consumed him. Granted, there may be some logic to sepal sensory augmentation on human subjects, but no ethical scholar would ever dare cross that point of no return. Mankind is driven mad by possibilities. What does Coral represent, if not sheer potential? I've decided that Assistant number 1's son is to remain at the lab. He's a reticent one, tough too, beyond his years. And now, our research has robbed him of his mother and driven his father mad. He has every right to hate me. Perhaps Assistant number 2 will be able to help. She does seem to have a knack for assembling toys. I hope that at least she can give him something to smile about. No. The coral tide is rising at an abnormal rate. This resonance, it suggests some kind of mutation. Run the calculations. How much time do we have? 47 hours, 2 minutes, 16 seconds. We still have time. Deploy IBIS. There is no averting the ruin that awaits both the Institute and Rubicon itself. I must now concern myself with what follows. The data show signs of wave mutation. Observation must continue. Assistant number 2 is our only remaining hope. Though it pains me, I have no choice but to pass the legacy of our sins onto her. My own student. 12 minutes remain. I have done all that I must. I alone shall bear the burden of watching the fires of Ibis burn. Whatever future awaits the boy, I hope he grows into a man strong enough to seize it. I have friends in the Jupiter colonies. Surely they will look after him.
So what you just heard were the leftover voice logs of Professor Nagai, who was the head of the Rubicon Research Institute, which brought about the fires of Ibis. So much lore is easily missed in Armored Core 6, and in this video we'll go over every data log, every secret, and every ending, with special time dedicated to showcasing the most cinematic moments this game has to offer. In a moment, we'll start going over every mission in the game, in order. But first, let's set the stage. The game takes place on the planet ISB 2262 Rubicon 3, a planet on the very frontier of developed space. And this planet is special because it's here that the substance called coral was discovered. Coral is many things. It's an infinite energy resource, it's a data conduit, it's a drug, it's food, it's a lethal contaminant, it's organic, and given the right conditions, it's also extremely flammable. But I think what's really important to point out, especially at this early stage in the timeline, is that coral is only these things to humans. Before them, it was simply a stable substance contained on a peaceful planet for an untold period of time. And without humans, it probably would have remained that way. Alas, humans eventually settled onto Rubicon. Here, they began to research the coral, building cities, and having children who would be born Rubiconian. All things that slowly set the events of Armored Core 6 into motion. At the heart of coral research were the Rubicon Research Institute, which quickly set up infrastructure across the planet. Much of what they built had military applications, though their primary goal was clearly research of the coral. Their discoveries were poised to transform human society by leaps and bounds, and they even began to introduce the coral to human subjects, using pulse technologies to augment the human brain and enhance the senses. These were the first generations of augmented humans, and in these days, very few survived that process. But those that did were given a generational coral designation, C1 to C4, followed by an ID number, and after this, many of them were clearly put into cold storage for who knows how long. But then, half a century before 621 would crash land on Rubicon, the coral was ignited. A storm of flame, dubbed the Fires of Ibis, tore through not just Rubicon, but the surrounding star systems, and coral, the kindling, was thought to have been utterly consumed and forever lost. When the ashes had cooled, an interstellar corporation known as the PCA, the Planetary Closure Administration, sent personnel who worked to seal off the planet. Interstellar travel. It seems to be this slow and/or expensive affair in AC6, so rather than transport everything they needed to Rubicon, bases were set up amidst the ashes on Rubicon instead. Here, the PCA began the construction of an array of AI-powered stations, satellites, and cannons around the contaminated planet to ensure humanity would never venture back. And outside of Rubicon, life went on. We know very little of interstellar events in this universe, but we do know that there have been wars across Earth's solar system, and we know armored core units have featured in these wars, piloted by independent mercenaries and pilots who serve at the whims of interstellar corporations like Balaam, Arquebus, and many other corporations besides. Though, for whatever reason, these corporations hadn't yet infiltrated Rubicon 3, even before the Fires of Ibis apparently, when the Rubicon Research Institute were making their discoveries about the coral. Perhaps Rubicon 3 was too far away for the corporations, or perhaps the PCA's interstellar influence kept them at bay. Maybe word of the coral's benefits hadn't reached them yet, or maybe the corporations just hadn't put plans in place. We just don't know. These are all the corporations we know of, each with their own character and goals, and I'll detail them properly across the missions to follow. As for the PCA, well, they discovered something while setting up the closure system, and it was that the coral hadn't been entirely wiped out. Not only that, but they discovered that some humans had survived the fires as well. These humans were dubbed Cinders, and they were a part of a culture of native Rubiconians who had been rebuilding with infrastructure and technology of their own, even though they had this closure system built or being built around them. Inevitably, though, it was leaked that the coral was still on the planet, and before long, a PCA station was attacked in orbit. A way onto the planet had suddenly been opened, and the race to claim the coral had begun. By this point, all knew of coral's potential, and any political risk of traveling there was clearly outweighed by the sheer benefits that such a sublime substance had to offer. So humanity would eventually return to stoke the fire. But hiding in the ashes from the fires of Ibis was an organization called Overseer, an association of observers who were tasked with monitoring the coral's growth, ready to burn it all again when the time came. And one of the members of Overseer was a man named Handler Walter, which brings us to the current age. From this point onwards, I'd like to go through things mission by mission, and in this way I hope to extrapolate full lore context for pretty much every single thing that you might have missed as you played through the game.
Handler Walter verified.
We're close to Rubicon. Wake the dog up.
According to logs left over from the Rubicon Research Institute, Walter was just a young boy when the fires of Ibis occurred, though he was noted to be reticent beyond his years. And Walter was sent away from Rubicon ahead of the fires of Ibis, and he survived, becoming a part of Overseer and making it a life goal of his to monitor the coral's growth and burn it all again, if it came to that.
Activating cerebral coral control device. Augmented human C4621 has awakened.
So, who are we? Who is 621? Well, our name reveals quite a bit. C4 is a designation that reveals we're a 4th generation augmented human, one of the last generations to experience coral pulse technology during the augmentation process. And the number 621 means we're 621st within that 4th generation of augmentation. Before release, we were shown a story trailer showing 621 being acquired by Handler Walter so that they might serve as a hound. The doctor asks Walter what happened to the other augmented humans he gave him last time, and he's met by silence. They're all dead. The doctor then follows up with, well, at least you're helping me clear my inventory, which suggests he has a significant number of augmented humans just sitting around in cold storage, wrapped in plastic and just waiting to be awakened. Indeed, coral pulse augmentation is no longer practiced at present in Armored Core 6, and these augmented humans are clearly considered to be outdated leftovers. Yeah. Their past lives are a mystery, but at some point in those lives they became augmentation subjects, and now they're here. We get precious little information about this doctor, but if I had to guess, I'd say this doctor practiced human augmentation with the Rubicon Research Institute before the fires of Ibis, and might have fled off-planet with his inventory of 4th gen augmented humans in tow. After all, 4th gens are the most recent products of the Institute's research, and this doctor is familiar with Handler Walter, who was a boy who was there with the Institute before it burned. The doctor also tells Walter that he's not exactly craving company here, which could suggest that he's in hiding. But again, speculation. As for 621, the doctor states that you should assume everything besides its functions are dead, which I take to mean that he considers 621 to be combat capable, but that everything else about its humanity is missing. Indeed, the coral generations of augmentation are renowned for having such side effects, which is part of the reason it's a type of augmentation that is no longer practiced. The trailer ends with 621 being briefly booted up into the torso and head of an AC so that Walter can deliver the first words they've heard in who knows how long.
621. I'll give you a reason to exist.
Looks like the guest of honor's here.
Anyway, back to illegal entry.
We're close to Rubicon. Wake the dog up.
I want to quickly point out, this cutscene where Walter calls you a dog doesn't play in New Game Plus and Plus Plus, which is fitting because Walter treats you with more respect in those timelines.
So, you know how in the later episodes, in the later missions, the one where you destroy the coral, you know how you're like have infinite flight and you're like destroying all the ships, and you have
the coral in the atmosphere is powering your
flight.
AC, yeah.
Yeah, so you have infinite flight. So during the mission where you save the coral or protect the coral, whatever, during that mission where you become the liberator of Rubicon, Rusty goes and does that part, right? So what they did was they downloaded the Rusty, like they uploaded the Rusty AC data and then did the mission where you're destroying the coral, and you're flying through, but as Rusty, and they got the footage of him destroying the ships while you're fighting, Boiiz.
Oh, okay.
So that's how they were getting footage from here, and it looks really cinematic. It's badass.
As if you two have been operating together for a while.
Now, activate the AC.
This cannon that activates here is called the Watchman, according to its data, and if you look carefully, it's actually been built atop a giant asteroid, which would have served as a great foundation during construction. This cannon is a part of the PCA's closure system that encircles Rubicon, and even though it manages to shoot us down, it might actually represent the weakest point in the closure system, because according to an arena bio, the closure system was dealt a critical blow during the plot to attack Station 31, and Station 31 is actually the arena you fight a couple of final bosses at, here, where, not too far away, you can see the Watchman in the distance. So I think it's fair to say that the Watchman's capabilities might have been impeded by Station 31's damage in some way, especially since many other corporations have clearly made successful landfall in this region as well. However, that's not to say it's safe, as it seems they've made quite a lot of unsuccessful landfalls as well. All throughout this region of southern Boiiz, you can find the smouldering fuselage of enormous craft, which I'm guessing might be the remains of spacecraft, and I think these could represent the casualties when these craft were hit on the way down. As for your crash landing, well, you actually managed to crash land in a fairly important location. This is Grid 135. A few missions later, it's revealed that the corporations are actually fighting over it, and soon the Arquebus Corporation hires you to clear out Balaam's forces that are stationed here at Grid 135.
Grid 135 is a key foothold in Arquebus's efforts to conduct a coral survey in the contaminated city.
Arquebus and their affiliate company Schneider are two of the corporate powerhouses on Rubicon, alongside Balaam and Dartham, and where Balaam are brash and explosive, Arquebus are cold and cunning. But why is Grid 135 a key foothold for all of these companies? Well, it's because this catapult makes this the perfect staging ground for a corporate attack on the contaminated city below. And the corporations want to take this contaminated city because then they'll be able to conduct their coral surveys there, in the hopes of learning more about the coral and where it gathers.
See the contaminated city down there? That's where you're landing. Time to fly, 621. If we get our hands on Rubicon's coral, we'll make a killing. Plenty for a merc with a fried brain like you to buy their life back.
Again, we're part of the coral generation of augmented humans, and side effects abound in these generations of humans. However, despite this, Walter's dialogue here reveals that the surgery is reversible for a price. And while he's not lying about that, he kind of is outright lying about his goals here. Yes, he's planning on making a killing of sorts, but he doesn't intend to steal coral for profit.
Enough chat, back to work. Scavenge the AC wrecks ahead. Find a valid mercenary license. We're illegals here. You'll need ID to operate.
All the AC wrecks in the city reveal that quite a fight has taken place here already. The defenders of the city are the Rubicon Liberation Front, a militant group of Rubiconians who have the strength to oppose the corporations and the PCA, though the odds are stacked against them since it's their territory that stands in the way of every other corporation's coral survey. The corporations have clearly taken a pass at the city already, and the PCA are here too, attempting to suppress the situation.
Misty, we got something good!
Get out of there! You can't handle them!
As Walter mentions, Subject Guard are the PCA's planet-side force, a standing army guarding the subject, which I assume is the planet Rubicon. The fact Walter calls them planet-side suggests that they have another, likely even greater force beyond Rubicon's atmosphere. They're the closest thing Armored Core 6 has to a government force, and you have to assume they wield incredible power off-planet if they're in charge of locking down entire planets. Even so, the call of the coral was so great that all of the corporations have come running, leaving the PCA to attempt to suppress things here with their planet-side force, while untold politics play out in a part of AC6's universe that we don't get to see. Speaking of things we don't get to see, the license we eventually claim belongs to Raven, an infamous pilot who has somehow fallen in battle here. You might recognize their AC, named Nightfall, from Armored Core 6's first cinematic trailer, where they're locked in battle against a rival AC atop one of the grids. This trailer goes on to show a bunch more that we now recognize in retrospect. There's the Juggernaut, the Cataphract, the SG helicopter, Gatling guns, and MTs at the wall, and even Arquebus deploying a set of ACs here. This trailer does a good job of showcasing all of the factions going to war on Rubicon, and it's the fallen Raven and their cohorts that are in no small way responsible for turning Rubicon into this corporate playground. So, who is Raven? Well, Raven belongs to an organization named Branch, a hacktivist collective of 4 mercenaries who arrived on Rubicon around the time that the coral response was rediscovered. So, not only did they manage to get access to what was assumedly extremely confidential information about the coral, but they also leaked that information to the corporations, and not only did they leak that information, but they followed up with an attack on Station 31, the station we mentioned earlier, the destruction of which dealt a critical blow to the closure system, creating the very gap that we and countless others likely exploited to set foot here. We'll go into a bit more detail on Branch later, when they show up, but for now it's enough to know that Raven was high on the PCA's list for termination. In future missions, the PCA considers Raven to be dead, so the PCA either found them fallen here, or they managed to defeat Raven in combat here, which I think that's more likely. I think Raven was probably fighting on the side of the corporations and then wound up getting more than they bargained for with the PCA around. But of course, that's just speculation. Whatever the case, for now, we take up their license and their legacy.
All-Mind provides a combat training simulator to support its mercenaries. Your license was in a suspended state. Perhaps you may need a refresher.
Now, I don't think having a license really makes it legal for you to operate on Rubicon, because no mercenaries here are really legal, in the PCA's eyes at least. Rather, having a license allows the corporations to access a centralized system of active mercenaries so that they might hire them, and for that task there's Allmind to assist. Allmind is an AI support system that exists for all mercenaries and seems to handle licensing on Rubicon, as well as access to the parts shop, training simulators, a simulated arena mode, and she also does many other things besides. Many other things. Armored Core 6's second mission is Grid 135 Cleanup. It's the sort of mission you don't think twice about, but at the back of the battlefield there's a corridor, and at the end of the corridor there's the chamber that you crash-landed into at the start of the game. And hiding in this chamber is a ghost, an agent of Allmind that is clearly investigating the crash site.
That mech, I can't see it. Handle it, 621.
As for why Allmind is here, it's hard to say for sure. Maybe it investigates everything that crash lands on Rubicon, but maybe, just maybe, she has her eye on you.
Confirmed. Unidentified machine down. Get back to work, 621.
At this early stage in the game, Darfang and their parent company, Balaam Industries, are really leading the charge against the contaminated city. Most of the calls to attack the city come from them, and alongside independent mercenaries, they've also started to commit members of their own in-house AC squad, the Red Guns, to the cause. In fact, a fairly high-ranking member of the Red Guns, Gun 7 Hakra, can be found dead in the center of the city from the very start of the game. Subsequent missions for Balaam have you destroy RLF artillery installations, and then later destroy the transport helicopters carrying supplies to the Strider. And eventually Balaam throws so many resources at taking the contaminated city that they are victorious, and the city does eventually fall under their control. We know this because when we return to the contaminated city later in a New Game Plus mission, it's Balaam's forces that have taken over, not the RLF or Arquebus. But this raises the question, why is the contaminated city so important to Balaam? Well, in the Grid 135 cleanup briefing, Arquebus reveals that they consider themselves to be ahead in the Coral Survey race, so maybe Balaam is desperate to make some headway here, more so than Arquebus, desperate for some clue as to where the claimable coral is. And I will say, one thing that you notice in a lot of missions is that groundwater is very often present wherever there's coral, and considering the contaminated city is flooded, it might really be close to some underground vein, and the city might be a valuable survey asset because of that. But why is it called the Contaminated City? Well, according to an in-game cutscene, the fires of Ibis left lethal contamination in its wake, which reveals that burned up coral is in fact lethal. But then, live coral is also lethal. Later on, there are warning symbols for coral caution, and live coral absolutely wrecks your AC. It even has a damage type that's all its own. A damage type there are no defenses for. So, I think the word contaminated might just relate to coral in general. Which brings me to the grids, the structures that tower and interlink in skies across Rubicon. Now, this is just speculation, but I think they might have been built to avoid coral contamination on the ground. It wouldn't be the first time that humanity has had to escape to the skies to avoid lethal surface contamination in the Armored Core series. And what's interesting about these grids is that they actually predate the fires of Ibis. You can literally see them being enveloped by flame in the cutscene, so they can't have been built to avoid contamination from the fires of Ibis. They might have been built to avoid coral contamination in general before that. And as for who built them, I think it has to have been the first settlers on Rubicon, either the Rubicon Research Institute, or maybe some population of settlers that split off from the Institute. Whatever the case, now that the corporations have landed, an RLF member has dialogue where she claims the grids won't be safe, which sort of implies that they were a safe place for the RLF before this. At any rate, our first sign that Balaam has commandeered the contaminated city comes when you realize that they've just had a new tester AC delivered straight into the heart of the city. This AC uses a Dafeng heavyweight frame, one which emphasizes Dafeng's stout tree, slender branches philosophy. It also has their signature combustion generator equipped as well. But this tester AC also allegedly features extensive assembly optimizations, such as the 12345 booster from RAD, which actually does feature quick boosts that synergize extremely well with this heavy build, but the tester pilot is tragically bad at making use of it, and they rarely ever dodge at all. As per the briefing, all of these optimizations allegedly come from an external architect. As for who this external architect is, well, I think it's Allmind, because this exact AC design eventually shows up as one of Allmind's analysis subjects, and in that description, it's stated that Allmind strives to create a future where all mercenaries can enjoy a near symbiotic relationship with their ACs. This is one of Allmind's core goals, programmed into its very being. And while Allmind eventually takes this imperative to an absurd degree, here Allmind is simply providing a new, easy-to-pilot AC to the Red Guns. After all, they have just lost one of their own, G7 Hakra, in their takeover of the contaminated city, so there's an opening for a new pilot.
We're under attack! It must be the locals. No, it's an independent. I'll deal with the merc. I've been training for this. The Red Guns need this AC. I can't fail this mission.
He fails the mission.
I just wanted a call sign of my own.
Taking this job was a very calculated move by Walter. Without this new AC, Balaam is more inclined to outsource jobs to independent mercenaries, pilots like you. This next mission is a big one. Attack the dam complex, with a briefing delivered by Gun 1 Michigan himself.
Heard the good news from Walter, did ya? Good. Sit your ass down and listen.
So who is Gun 1 Michigan? Well, let's take a look at his arena bio. Commander of the Red Guns, the Balaam Group's AC squad, Michigan took up leadership after a career as the commander of the Furlong Armed Fleet. There, he earned a reputation as a merciless, heavy-handed ogre of a man who was equally feared by friend and foe alike, who knew him as Hell on 4 legs. Apparently, he has posted a bounty on his own head to Balaam's bounty board, with the stipulation that half of the reward money is to be distributed among his former comrades at Furlong. His AC, Liger Tail, is a tetrapod, explaining the Hell on 4 legs nickname. Furthermore, a liger is a real animal. It's the hybrid offspring of a male lion and a female tiger, often believed to be the largest cat in the world. This suits Michigan, for obvious reasons. Unsurprisingly, Michigan is an easy one to pick out in the STV sketches, which are a series of sketches that feature the human side of many characters in-game. Can you spot him? So, we think he's almost certainly this man, given his bulky frame, his commanding pose, and the identity of the man beside him, which we'll get into later. But the most interesting background about Michigan actually doesn't come from his arena bio. Instead, it comes from the arena bio of Gun 6 Red, a member of the Red Guns tasked with managing Balaam's use of independent mercenaries on Rubicon. He's the one who has been delivering all of Balaam's mission briefings up to this point.
I'll introduce myself. Gun 6 Red. but you can call me sir.
Red's arena bio reads, as a young boy, Red's life was forever changed when he saw the news broadcasts of Commander Michigan's brutal triumphs in the Jupiter War. Red trained through blood, sweat, and tears in order to emulate his idol, supporting his impoverished siblings all the while. When the Balaam admission exam finally came, he won his place in the Red Guns at the very moment he stood to attention to greet the squad. Of course, what's most interesting to learn from this bio is that there was a Jupiter War, and that Commander Michigan, leader of Balaam's Red Guns, was victorious in it. We get precious little information about interstellar events, so learning something like this is pretty huge. It might be a stretch to say that Balaam is in control of the entirety of Jupiter now, or something like that, but I think it's fair to say that Balaam probably has a commanding presence there now. At least, this fact is made even more fascinating when you consider this video record of the fires of Ibis, which muses on Walter's future as he was evacuated off Rubicon as just a young child. It reads, "Whatever future awaits the boy, I hope he grows into a man strong enough to seize it. I have friends in the Jupiter colonies. Surely they will look after him." I mention all of this because I think it's fair to speculate that Commander Michigan was one of these friends tasked with Walter's safekeeping, especially since Michigan is shown to be quite familiar with Walter at numerous points in the game.
Well, Handler Walter. The way your hound's been up in my business, I'm surprised you'd even dare to call. Michigan, about my proposal.
Here, Walter proposes a job with the Red Guns as a shot in the arm for 621, who, like some other 4th-gen augmented humans, tends to be emotionally withdrawn. Of course, Walter's real goal here is to convince Balaam that you're worth the extra credits, which this job inevitably does, whether you successfully destroy the dam, or whether you betray Balaam and defend it in New Game Plus.
Balaam's moving in on the Gallia Dam complex, one of the Liberation Front's bases. The objective is to destroy their lifeline and make those sacks of shit beg for mercy.
Alongside you for this mission are Gun 4 Volta and Gun 5 Iguazu, and you become the Red Gun's lowest ranking member, receiving the call sign Gun 13.
A lucky little number that just became available.
The way this is said suggests that its previous owner has just died. This could be referring to the Tester AC pilot you downed in the previous mission, or it could be referring to another pilot that we don't meet, like the one who pilots the Melander AC nicknamed Tenderfoot, for example. As revealed by promotional material, this AC pilot had the Gun 13 call sign and Red Gun customization as well before you did. 13 is an unlucky number to the Red Guns. It's a source of superstition, though the reason for it might actually be quite logical. Because think about it, whoever inherits Gun 13 as their rank is the newest to the Red Guns and thus their lowest ranking member. So to me it makes sense that whichever pilot receives this number is more likely to fall in combat. They're inexperienced, after all.
Balaam Group AC Squad Red Guns reporting for duty. Commence mission. Attack! Get in there, you maggots!
Great. An independent merc. Who's the wise guy who decided the Red Gun should be taking care of some freelancer?
Who gives a shit? We'll handle this mission ourselves. One target destroyed.
Hey, freelancer. Bet no one even told you why we're here. Well, us real Red Guns are gonna go climb the wall. It's just target practice. When we're done, the locals' little base is next.
Gun 5! Can't tear yourself away from chatting with a tag-along? Why don't you start a sewing club together and stitch that damn mouth of yours shut?
Does this guy ever shut up?
And it's your inexperience, your lack of loyalty to the Red Guns that this enemy RLF member bets on, hoping that they'll be able to sway you, even in the middle of combat.
Independent mercenary, why be a mere pawn? What honor is there in serving corporations that exist only to kill and plunder? Do you hear me, you corporate vultures? The Rubiconians will never yield. You're going home in armored coffins. Forged in ash, we stand as one!
Forged in ash, they stand as one!
More like an old piece of junk. It's barely different from an MT.
Gun 4, you're not exactly cutting edge either. You want to be next on the scrap heap?
This enemy AC is piloted by Index Dunham. His arena bio reads, a blue-collar worker who was involved in the construction of the grid. He is now dedicated to establishing symbiosis with the coral and building a future for Rubicon free from planetary closure, inspired by Father Dolmayan's ideals. Able-bodied and eager, he is zealously dedicated to the cause, but he is more at home in the construction yard than the cockpit. It's this description of Index Dunham as a loyal worker that helps to identify him in this STV sketch. I think he's pointing towards Father Dolmayan here, as he argues with another man. It's from Dunham's arena bio that we get confirmation that Rubiconians who became RLF members were indeed involved in the construction of the grid way back when. And if they're talking about the original grid, then I guess this would also make him a Cinder, a survivor of the fires of Ibis, though they could also be talking about the more modern grids in this region. But if he is a Cinder, it suits his flaming pickaxe emblem, which also represents his transition from work to warfare, as the pickaxe is a tool that was used for general construction, and in medieval times it historically doubled as a weapon whenever war broke out. This same duality of worker and warrior can be applied to Index Dunham's AC as well, which is also named Burn Pickaxe, and it uses Basho parts and the Joso generator, parts with performance that, I quote, is not dissimilar to generic Labor MT models, which reflects this hasty conversion of Labor MTs into combat ACs that could be used to repel the corporate incursion, where these ACs were based on MTs that were just basically Labor models originally. Unfortunately, Dunham's burning zealotry is not enough to stop Balaam overpowering the RLF here.
Damn you, scavengers! Father Dolmayan, I failed you!
Confirmed. All targets destroyed.
Looks like we got competition. You got lucky, freelancer.
Index Dunham is so dismayed by the dam's destruction here for a couple of reasons. First, what we're tasked with destroying here are generators. These are what give the Rubiconians power, and likely what keeps them warm. Michigan describes this dam as their lifeline, and it's a grim reminder of the war crimes we're committing, crimes that the game does a good job of distancing you from, but crimes that occur nonetheless. And if you're wondering how a frozen dam can generate power, well, first it might not always be frozen all year round, and might generate some hydropower, but the true source of the dam's energy is actually likely to be underground coral. A later combat log titled "The Well Dries" reads, "The well we found in Gallia is going to dry up sooner than later. We just can't harvest as much coral as we used to, and what little we do get, the corps squeeze out of us. They know we need it to raise mealworms. How many more children must we watch starve?" So this reveals that there are subterranean rivers of coral that the Rubiconians tap into for energy, and they use this harvested coral to raise what are called mealworms.
Alright, Silver.
Yeah.
We're 41 minutes in. Thoughts so far?
A couple interesting bits I didn't know about. Like, I I did notice that Vadi made the same conclusion, made one of the same conclusions I did, or at least about the Pester AC pilot potentially being the person who was going to be done to slaughter his ass.
Yep. Possibly, yeah. Everybody thought. I think you told me that.
Yeah, I did tell you that.
Yeah, that's where I heard that from initially. But yeah. What are you playing this too?
Not right now, no.
Oh, okay. Alright. Loser. I was gonna see if you want the PvP for the one time.
It's only quick for me to load it up.
Have you been making more ACs, like other than the few that you had? Have you like made a couple of other builds?
Nah.
You just have your main 3?
For the time being, yes.
Bruh.
I did make another one, remember the dual Songbird, dual Harris.
What kind of FCS do you have? Medium to long range, right?
I have that I have that general one that you get.
At the very end?
Yeah, the one that's like focused mostly on mid-range, but it has decent close and long-range capabilities. Let's see, right now what yeah, I've got a different one going right now.
Yes. What's up? Oh, the Chalice Dungeons? Hop in my Discord, into my stream chat. Well, I don't want to talk on the phone. I'm a stream. I can explain it to you while I'm in here, please. Just use your phone. Just hop in on your phone. Hey, can you drag my brother in when he hops in the general chat?
Yep. That I will do.
You know how all the red guns are killed, but then you fight G3 at the Coral Convenience? He betrayed them, and he, like, left them.
Yeah.
And that's why he fucking dies.
Yeah, either you kill him or one of the Vespers ends up killing him because they... Would you trust a traitor?
No.
Even if he betrayed someone to join your side, would you trust him?
But I think it's more a different job. Alright, is my brother in any kind of chat yet?
Not yet.
Proceed blindly, and you will find yourself a prisoner of the corporations. We will transmit his coordinates. Eliminate him. All Mind will handle the rest.
He wants me to explain.
6-2, do you read me? I'm cutting out.
Handler Walter. Another hindrance to the project. Leave him to us.
Huh? That's the independent mercenary. Wait, something's up. Are we jammed? The signal. Both ACs were destroyed, but all is proceeding as planned. Yes, of course. That's what the independent mercenary is for.
Confirmed. It's BTC now. We're clear to ambush him.
What's going on with our comms?
Target ambush.
The independent mercenary Raven. Leave it all up to sniff me out. But how did you find me? I'll take your AC's wreck for answers.
There you are. Just like they said. You're gonna die, freelancer.
What are you doing here?
The guy from the ice worm mission with a stick up his ass. It's my lucky day. I don't like you either. I'll kill the both of you.
You'll die together.
I'm nobody's dog. That damn noise again. Freelancer, you're doing this, aren't you? Make it stop. Make it. It's inside my head. You're all laughing at me, aren't you?
AP at 50%.
No, you. Different.
Gun 5. Iguazu down.
Hell yeah.
We did it.
Augmented human C4621. Raven. Well done. Now you are one with us.
Oh, alright, sorry.
Welcome to
We find these mealworms later, creatures that actually manage to feed on the coral, digesting it before themselves becoming a safe food source for Rubiconians.
Ooh, I got an S on that bitch.
What is actually an
Yes.
incredibly hostile planet. A later
I just S'd both of the coral convergences.
combat log even mentions that these mealworms
Not
give
bad, not bad.
Rubiconians a tiny shot of coral when consumed, meaning that every native Rubiconian grows up ingesting coral in some form or another. So your destruction of the dam threatens the Rubiconians' food supply, unless you betray them and side with the RLF instead in New Game Plus.
Wait, 621. I'm receiving a coded transmission.
Raven, I represent the Rubicon Liberation Front. Our request is simple. We want you to take out the 2 red guns. Our compensation will be double Balaam's offer, awaiting your response.
Interesting. Your call, 621.
Your cooperation is appreciated, Raven.
621. We've received a friendly ID tag from the Liberation Front. Let's not waste their firepower.
You meant that, didn't you?
This is Volta, Gun 4 of the Red Guns, a fighter who, like Gun 5 Iguazu, seems to have been brought into the Red Guns somewhat against their will. His bio reads, after beating the rebellious Volta and Iguazu into submission, Michigan made it his personal crusade to make something of the two, and thus began their daily hell. For the past 7 years, neither Volta nor Iguazu have achieved their goal, to punch the living daylights out of Michigan, then get the hell out of the Red Guns, as they would put it. Volta has since admitted defeat, and is now learning about business from Wu Huahai, another member of the Red Guns who we'll talk about later.
He's a scam
That's
artist.
a low blow, Handler Walter. Gun 4, Gun 5,
return
Yeah,
fire!
we were high.
Looks like Gun 13's playing dirty now! This smirk's something else! Where did Michigan find this freak?
Now you've done it, Freelancer. No one picks a fight with the red guns.
Oh, no need to worry about that, Iguazu. It's not a fight with the red guns, it's just a fight with you. The other guy is
I think
just
it's
in the
most
way.
likely that we can see Wu Huahai here in the STV sketch, given that he has dark hair and is clearly of Chinese descent. The AC that they're all sitting upon is Volta's tank AC cannon head. And the others here are almost certainly Iguazu and Volta, with Gun 6 red in the distance, but it's hard to say for sure who is Iguazu and who is Volta. This could be Volta because there's money in front of him, and he was said to be learning about business from Wu Huahai, but it could also be Iguazu, because Iguazu was a known gambler. Iguazu's bio reads, "Backstreet gambler, Iguazu bet big and lost, and he was forced to undergo experimental 4th generation augmentation surgery to pay back his debtors. In his new life, he quickly began to quarrel with Volta, his oftentimes partner in crime. Iguazu's recalcitrant nature was such that one day he even picked a fight with the hero of Jupiter, who retaliated with such fury that Iguazu never quite looked the same afterwards. Of course, the hero of Jupiter who punched Iguazu's face in would be Michigan, and Iguazu's face here is blurred out, leaving the damage quite to your imagination.
I'm not taking any more of your shit. I already get enough from Michigan every day of the week.
As for Iguazu's recalcitrant nature, that's even represented by his choice of emblem, which is a stag beetle, a species known for clashing violently with its peers. Recalcitrant means to have an uncooperative attitude, especially towards
Stag beetle.
authority
Wait.
or discipline.
You say stag beetle,
It's
but
not too
you said
surprising
stag beetle
that
plant.
Iguazu has this
Is he
attitude,
just ignoring the
thrust
fact that
as he
stag
was
beetle
into
head
the red
being
guns,
propelled up
hardly
by
by choice.
scorpions?
Watch it, Freelancer. I'm not going down like Volta. I'm gonna punch the living daylights out of Michigan, and no one's stopping me.
Iguazu's gambling debts leading to his augmentation echoes the Human Plus system from previous Armored Core games, where you could reach a state of debt so severe that your body was offered to an experimental augmentation program. After this, your debts were cleared, and you received enhanced abilities. The fact that experimental augmentation can work a similar way in AC6, with Iguazu here getting a new life after his surgery, offers a rare insight into what our past as 621 might have been like. Of course, we can only speculate on the details, but Iguazu, like us, is also a 4th generation augmented human. It's possible that Iguazu was bought and paid for after his surgery by Michigan in a similar way to how 621 was with Walter. We've previously established that Walter and Michigan were likely to have ties to the Rubicon Research Institute, and maybe they share a source of 4th gen augmented human stock as well. Not to mention, the fact that Walter has the word handler as a title suggests that there are other handlers of augmented humans out there, and that buying and paying for augmented human lives is a firmly established thing in this universe.
Damn it! I've been hit bad. Freelancer got lucky.
Confirmed. Gun 4 and Gun 5 eliminated. You can bill me for the AC repair fees, Michigan.
You've ruined our little field trip, Walter. I'll be billing you for tuition fees, too.
Another thing worth mentioning early is that, despite their ACs being destroyed in this mission, Iguazu and Volta aren't dead. Instead, they've withdrawn from their ACs, which is a handy plot device that Armored Core 6 uses whenever it needs you to defeat ACs but keep their pilots alive. Presumably, similar to in Armored Core 5, the pilots have ejected to be safely picked up later by their own organization.
Your cooperation is appreciated, Raven.
Though they're never named, these voice lines came from a man named Middle Flatwell. He's the de facto military leader of the Rubicon Liberation Front, and he's the one who's offering you the job to double-cross Balaam here. Flatwell is likely to be this man in the STV sketch, engaged in an argument with Index Dunham, who earlier we established is more loyal to Father Dolmayan, so it kind of makes sense that these two would clash. The rest of Middle Flatwell's bio reads, his authority is second only to that of Father Dolmayan, and his standing within the organization has earned him an informal title as a fellow elder. He is the uncle of the Liberation Front to Dolmayan's father. In addition to the familial titles of uncle and father, 5 members of the RLF are also extended secondary, more colloquial titles. These are Little, Ring, Middle, Index, and Thumb, belonging to Little Zee, Ring Freddy, Middle Flatwell, Index Dunham, and Thumb Dolmayan. Together, they make the full fist of the RLF, united against the extraplanetary corporations.
Mental Gen.
Looking in, smelling.
Got a job for you, 621.
Sorry, I'm a bit late.
Raven,
Hey,
this request comes
do you
from
see Mario
Schneider,
in general?
an Archibus subsidiary.
No, I haven't seen
Mission will take
pop in
place in
yet.
the Bonadea dunes of Western Belius. Our coral investigation there is being blocked by the Strider, a Rubicon Liberation Front mining ship. You are to destroy it.
In the earliest leaks of Armored Core 6, the coral was called melange, the same name given to the spice in Frank Herbert's June, which Armored Core 6 seems somewhat inspired by. And if the coral was melange, then the Rubiconians would be the Fremen, a people that are hardened by strife and emboldened by their familiarity with their planet's most valuable resource. There's a lot of parallels.
An unidentified AC. Must be one of the corporation's dogs. Activate the eye. Burn them away. Yes, sir! Coral, abide with Rubicon! Abide with Rubicon.
Even the Rubiconians' logo reminds me of the Fremen of June, and we first see this logo here, on the side of the Strider, in the next mission, which is this arms fort that was once merely a ship used to mine coral, except now it's been weaponized. This logo, though, it's infused with some serious symbolism.
The Strider is the flagship of our war. Hold the line. Defend the ship with your lives. We can't shake the enemy AC! Remember the hardships that made us. Remember that when Rubicon burned, we endured.
Now that the dam is destroyed, the Strider will be crucial to the RLF, as it's a way for them to travel around Belius, mining coral and distributing it elsewhere and, controlling their own destiny.
No, we can't lose the Strider! Sir! No response from the eye! Damn hyenas! Damaging the planet! Coral, abide with Rubicon!
Sure would be nice if you could help the RLF and help them keep this ship around, but alas, it's either destroyed by you or destroyed in New Game++ by a foreign force if you attempt to escort it instead. According to this New Game++ mission, the RLF paid another Rubiconian force, the Doses, to outfit the Strider for combat. This included attaching all of the weapons turrets, as well as attaching an enormous energy laser, the Eye, to the front of the ship. It looks quite similar to the Closure System Eye, actually, which makes me wonder if there's a story there or if this is just coincidence. At any rate, the RLF need these weapons attached because, once again, the corporations are intent on a coral survey in their territory, this time in the Bonadea Dunes, which, again, have water on their surface, so assumedly there is coral beneath these dunes, especially since the mining ship is in this location. But the most curious part of this mission by far is the New Game Plus Plus variant
Are we
of it, where
watching
you're
lore
given the
videos?
option to escort
Well, yeah,
the figure,
we were just
and
watching some.
it gets taken down by
lore.
foreign forces before you can
At
arrive.
least right now. Hold the line. We on board. How you doing, Smellies?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I think we got the election wrapped up. I'm feeling good about it.
You fucking. Yeah, I think we got the election wrapped up. Are you in general chat?
Oh, did you mean general chat is in on Discord? Let me see.
You can you join the one just below it, and we can drag you in. All right, get in there, and then as soon as we see you, we'll drag you in. Please drag my brother in. I need to explain Chalice Dungeons to this nigga. Do you see him in?
No. Oh, there he is.
Hello? Mario? Is he in?
Should be. Should be good to go.
Bruh, can you hear me? I cannot hear you if you're talking. Completely mute. Drag him out, drag him back in. See if that fixes it.
Looks like he's muted on his end.
Oh, you're muted. Your phone is muted, bro.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, there we go. Now you're not muted. All right, check this out.
We have connection.
So, what was I gonna say? So, Chalice Dungeons. You get the first thingy from somewhere in the game. I think it's after you kill the Bloodstarved Beast. You get the first offering, and after that, you basically so the headstones on the other side are for your Chalice Dungeons. Okay, Chalice Dungeons actually have in them better weapons. It's the same weapons, but better like what's it called? Like so like the Lost Shikage gives you more blood damage. So it get like the Chalice Dungeons are for better weapons and better weapons basically. And Silver.
Yeah.
Explain
I only
Chalice.
just got back.
Can you explain Chalice Dungeons to my brother, please? In Bloodborne.
Okay. Chalice Dungeons are. Have you ever played a roguelike?
Have I ever played what?
A roguelike. No,
A roguelike. Like no?
No, but he just wants to know what they're for. So like you found a little Chalice thing, right?
Oh, they're bonus content basically. It's basically bonus content. You boot up a Chalice dungeon and it makes a dungeon for you to run through basically.
No,
it gives
I
you
don't.
bosses.
I know it gives me shit, but why is there different chalices? Like, what's the difference between a lower Cthulhu chalice versus a Central Cthulhu root chalice?
Basically.
Oh, it's different levels.
And then what about a Hintercomb? Is that harder than a Cthulhu?
Numerian, that's what it is.
The Numerian chalice, yeah.
The PSU is Numerian.
Alright, whatever. Numerian.
But yeah, no, yeah, so basically,
you basically get them in order.
You get them in the order, so you play through a chalice, and then it'll give you the thing for the other one, and then you start getting like rotted and fetid chalices.
Ooh, those are the rough ones.
Yeah, so rotted and fetid basically give you way better gear, way better gems, because you're really doing them for your gems, right? Because the gems can like make you like two-shot bosses, like literally.
Yeah, like you go through your chalices to get your other chalices, which give you better shit. It's basically a way of turning up the difficulty slider to turn down the difficulty slider.
Okay. So the blood gems, you get the really powerful blood gems from.
You're rotted, fetid, and cursed.
You're rotted, and then, but you have to go through your chalices, and also you might have to go through them again to get more enough materials to make your next chalice, right? And also you're gonna want to replace, because like depending on the materials you sacrifice, that's the kind of chalice that you make. And yeah, you can go through chalice dungeons for hours.
You can input a password in order to bypass the materials, but that doesn't make a random one. That just makes a specific. That just makes a preset.
Yeah, if you want like a tight or not titanite, what is it? What's the a blood?
So I can only use. So
Let's
I can
not
only
tell him
use,
about that chalice.
If you want a blood,
Let him experience on his own.
You can.
I can only use 6 chalices.
Yeah.
But there's no point in keeping them open once you clear out a chalice, so that's nothing.
What do you mean? I can close them. I can reuse them.
Yeah.
How?
The chalices are key items.
So
you can just keep using that chalice over and over.
No, but let's say like, what I'm saying is like on a ritual altar, can I change it? Like, can I go back to my first ritual altar and use a different chalice?
You can clear out that ritual altar and make a new
I
one.
see at the very bottom, remove chalice. Oh, I see. I completely missed out on how I missed that. Okay, got it. So I was like, damn.
You thought you were making a super important choice without knowing about what it's doing.
Yeah, because I was like, bro, why am I using like 6 of them and I can't take them off? Yeah, okay. That was my only question. Like, what was the difference between them? All right, I understand now. Thank you, guys.
All right.
No problem.
He's an adorable little scuff, isn't it?
Oh, you're gonna say scamp.
She's a scuff.
Enemies on the radar. 621, they're coming. Are those sea weapons? Defend yourself, 621. They're not going to listen to reason. Those are drone weapons made by the Rubicon Research Institute. Relics that survived the fires of Ibis.
This moment is kind of bizarre because despite Walter later telling you he'll look into this, we never get a follow-up on why these machines attacked here, forcing us to try and puzzle it out ourselves. So these are drone weapons left over from the Rubicon Research Institute. One set are Helianthus machines, named after the sunflower that they really do look a lot like. Amazing name. And the other set are MT-like drones that you eventually find in a state of disrepair around Institute City, which is an underground city on an entirely different continent. Specifically, these are all sea weapons. They're autonomous deterrents created by the RRI to protect the coral. So, following on from that, it's logical to think that these weapons might just be defending the coral here against the RLF, who might have been mining it, and maybe they just accidentally triggered these sea weapons lying in wait beneath the ground. However, it's kind of strange to think that the Rubicon Research Institute would have planted sea weapons here on a different continent so far away from Institute City. And It's also kind of strange to think that the RLF would just randomly trigger them now while they're mining here, uncovering relics
Someone
that
said take it
clearly
down.
didn't even know
Oh,
existed.
fuck, I do need to take it down, don't I?
What is that thing?
Alternatively, you could theorize that the PCA sent these
Let's
weapons
do it.
to suppress the RLF. The PCA do commandeer other Institute relics, after all. You could even theorize that All Might is behind this attack, since she has a vested interest in seeing Arquebus succeed in this mission. In the end, though, I don't think it's possible to know for sure what's happening here.
Looks like the last of them. Nothing on the long-range radar. You may have failed to protect the Strider, but you had a hell of an excuse. I'll look into this. You go home and get some rest, 621.
Regardless, this mission gets you a foot in the door for Operation Wall Climber, led by Arquebus.
I understand you want to join Operation Wall Climber. You do realize that smashing up some old Institute relics hardly qualifies you.
Commence mission. We'll start by clearing the way for Arquebus. Take out the Gatling cannons protecting the city, and the Boiiz Tetrapod MT further in.
You'll never climb the wall, Corporation dog! Coral! Abide with Rubicon!
We're under attack! They're in the city!
It's just one AC. Arquebus, they're mocking us. Forged in ash, we stand as one! Die, mercenaries! Corporate scum.
Boiiz Tetrapod MT eliminated.
Unlike other missions up until this point, the wall isn't important because it's a part of the Coral Survey, it's important because it's a key trading outpost, presumably with the infrastructure from which Coral Surveys can be launched, and naturally taking the wall strikes a blow against the RLF, who use it to supply their own forces. Balaam, as is their style, rush in headfirst to take the wall, sending Iguazu and Volta on what Volta describes as a suicide mission. However, Iguazu chooses this moment to go AWOL, leaving his partner Volta to attempt the wall climb alone. And it's a task he can't complete. In front of the wall is a video record, with an incomplete message sent from Volta to Iguazu, apparently just before death. It says, "Iguazu, I'm telling you, man, you gotta give Michigan another chance. He's different from the suits at HQ. Look, I know he's an asshole, but he's looking out for us, you know? Almost like we got a family here. Man, if there's anyone who deserves punching out, it's the freaks."
Dude, I can't believe you fucking killed
mission.
Michigan.
You picked a good day to go AWOL. Wish I...
He dies either way, okay? Michigan's a good dude,
So
all
this
right? It's
log
not my
tells
fault.
us
I
a few
love
things.
Michigan.
First,
I would
that
have
it
served
was
under
the
Michigan.
HQ that demanded this mission, not Michigan himself. It's a good reminder that even though people like Michigan and Snail are the leaders of the combat teams here on Rubicon, they're actually not the highest ranking members of Balaam and Arquebus. They're the ones calling the shots, presumably somewhere safe off-planet, where we never get to see. The second thing that's curious is
yes,
why
the cushy
Iguazu
suits sitting
went
behind
AWOL.
their desks.
In the previous mission, Iguazu
No,
bragged
I haven't
about
beat the
being
DLC.
first over the wall.
Oh, I
So
got
what
it.
changed? If I had to guess, I'd say Michigan is to blame somewhat. This record reads as if something
Unfortunately,
had just
I
happened
still need
between
to,
Michigan
and I'm going to.
Iguazu,
I
with
just was really
Volta
feeling
pleading with
Armored
Iguazu
Core,
to
man.
give Michigan a chance. Presumably,
But I mean, look at the
Iguazu is
story.
fuming about getting chewed out by Michigan during or after the damn mission, and he deserts the Red Guns for a while here out of bitterness. The sad thing is that Iguazu and Volta work very well as a team, and this desertion might have directly led to Volta's death. What's more, Volta is right. Michigan does look out for Iguazu, and in a later mission, when another Balaam member references Iguazu's desertion here, Michigan defends him.
Iguazu? Oh yeah, the deserter who pissed his pants and ran.
Albany, I'd forgotten we still kept you around. Iguazu's worth 100 of you, which means, Albany, the Merc is worth 20 to him. You're doing nothing productive. Why don't you do the math for us?
The answer is 2,000 Albany, sir!
But enough about Balaam's red guns. What about Arquebus's Vespers? The word Vesper means evening, as reflected on their emblem. There are 8 Vespers, and as suggested by the briefing in this mission, each Vesper leads their own squad of Arquebus forces, though we never really get to see the forces they lead. Each Vesper also has an emblem that is some anatomical play on the augmented human body, except for Rusty, whose emblem is a muzzled wolf. It's the first of many things that set Rusty apart, since he's not a true Vesper. Instead, he's secretly allied with the RLF, and is only playing along with Arquebus's plans for now.
Did you ever think there would be so much story in a fucking, just like, you know what I mean? Just like, did you ever think there would be this much story, bro? Did you?
I figured there would be, considering it's a FromSoft game. They love hiding their stories behind certain walls and shit.
You're telling me the Corpo, like, head didn't realize that this one Vesper who's like, no, man, I ain't going with the motif. I'm choosing my own thing. They never had an inkling he might be a fucking double agent.
It's not even that.
It's like, well, we kind of have a theme here. I know it's silly. Technically, you can choose whatever you want, but we're doing kind of like this whole theme. And he's like, no, man.
I'm a muzzled badass.
I'm like,
Bruh,
wait,
look,
really?
You're probably not gonna make it to the 5-hour conclusion, but when he gets this new armored core, like this new AC that they've been developing the whole game.
This is a 5-hour video?
Yes.
Jesus.
Listen, so when he gets his new AC, right, and so like his logo becomes unmuzzled. It becomes an unmuzzled wolf.
Oh, that is kind of cool.
Bruh, and it's like he's in this like new AC that they've been developing, and it's like when you get it, because like when you fight the ACs in the arena, you get their design, so you can basically become them and like play around in that machine, and like it's like his AC is designed for mobility above all else, and it's like, bruh, badass.
They really do write this thing like you're in an anime, huh?
It's from Japan. That is their predominant form.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it makes sense why Herbal's into it. He's living out.
I'm trying to make a team of the 5 hardest AC pilots. I got Silver on board already.
Yeah, we've FromSoft really do write their games like you're just some random slime from the middle of nowhere. Then all of a sudden you gain the power to become God.
Believe in the me that believes in you.
Don't believe in the you. If you can't believe in you and you can't believe in me, then believe in the me that believes in you.
Yeah, you got it. Oh god. Okay, I was sketched. I thought no one would get the butchered reference.
Fucking love Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, that was my that popped my anime cherry is Gurren Lagann. I didn't do any anime until.
Maybe I'm fat.
Well,
wow. No, you said it was Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann.
Oh yeah, there is a Moonlight Blade. I have it.
Have you seen Gurren Lagann?
Nope.
Really? That's a classic, bro.
So you would have not experienced the drill that shall pierce the heavens.
Yeah, the drill that will pierce the heavens.
I've never seen.
We should watch that right fucking now. I'm just saying, if you're
Kamina is an inspiration man because his is the drill that will pierce the heavens.
What's the one with the giant robots? That's like a fucking OG one.
That might be Gurren Lagann.
No,
There's big robots in that.
Maybe.
Evangelion,
yeah. Neon Genesis.
Yeah, some of the design people for Evangelion or Jellion, I can't remember how it's pronounced, actually worked on this game. And Gundam, too.
Oh, I love Gundam, bro. Gundam is my shit, man.
That's why a couple of the parts look like they belong on a Gundam. And specifically, the All Mind parts look like they belong on an Evangelion.
Bro, I love the
They
All
belong
Mind
on an
helmet.
Eva.
The All Mind Beta helmet is perfect First of all, are you playing right now? You need to be buying all these parts so we know what you're missing.
Yes, I'm playing.
Good.
And yes, I'm going through the missions and buying it as I got the money for them.
Good. Also, work on getting S's so we can both, you know.
No, I'm proceeding through the story to get that one mission I missed, remember? Then I can get my S's.
Bruh, you're gonna have to kill Michigan.
Don't do it, Silver.
Michigan's the shit.
He's a good man.
So I'm gonna show you the Moonlight Greatsword after this, Silver or Peanut. Also, man, I love this. This is my like main build, so I changed its color from the mustard and ketchup.
You change it from the McDonald's condiment menu.
Yes, there's PvP in this. There's no PvE though.
I
can't
wish
help you
there
on
was
missions,
cooperative PvE.
but we can play against each other versus other players.
Yeah. Armored Core has always had PvP only. I wish that they would have added a cooperative PvE, being as how popular it was in the Soulsborne games, but I can see them wanting to stay true to their roots on this game. Except, you know, that they gave the robots the Sekiro stagger mechanic.
Bro, this would be so fucking fun in PvP, where it's like we have different fucking mechs. They quadruple the enemies, bro. I don't care. More enemies.
Yeah, like, yeah, just, well, I suppose they do it like this because each mission is kind of like a puzzle, if you think about it. You put your robots together, piece them together to make the puzzle that is the solution to your mission. Some solutions are exactly what you want, and others are just using your fist to jam the jigsaw puzzle pieces in there until they fit.
Bruh, I have a build that I think can get through everything.
We're cleaning up.
Oh yeah, so you're the guy who just keeps on jamming the puzzle pieces there until they work.
Bruh, my build is fucking amazing for everything.
Maintain formation.
The double Harrises with the fucking songbird and a missile launcher on the other end.
I can't complain about the Harris. The Harris is a good gun.
The missile launcher and the songbirds too are fired.
That's third interceptor to go down.
Silver was kicking my ass in PvP though.
Silver, do you know anything about loot frames?
Loot frames? No, I don't actually.
I'm sorry, I'm just working on a Necros build. And
Oh, I do. Oh, you mean loot frames as in the frame type, like. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I actually ran Necros mostly for whenever I'm trying to loot stuff.
Good man. I sorry to interject, Herbal. It's just I recently learned Silver is actually very, very up to date in his knowledge of Warframe.
Yeah,
he's
Silver's
like
a Warframe
level.
master, bro. But who do you think?
I didn't know that.
Master, but I'm
compared to.
But who do you think taught Silver, bro? I
Yeah,
not
trained
you.
Silver on all of my Warframe.
I want to see your
My
level
Google
4
Docs.
master rank.
Okay,
Warframe.
and my BB
Count.
Jow. I've got the old BB Jow.
Marco,
too.
I
They
want to
don't
see
like
your Grandmaster account if you're that good.
my Grandmaster
But,
BB Jow. That's what it's called, bro.
But Silver, hear this out. I'm gonna put the Petrify ability on Necros, which I can use.
Because there is an argument that
or
you
gaze
can
or something.
do drops of people who are petrified. I see
Right.
going for
I
that.
promise you, an armored core would kill the shit out of any Warframe.
Nah, I know we're pretty badass, man. There's a whole
The
weird-
Tenno are
Armored cores are so
supernaturally
fucking
powered.
There's like a little bit
Yeah.
of magic shit going on. with
Here's the
Void.
thing. Tenno take on things larger than an AC would go.
Okay, then it should not have a problem taking all the missiles
I just want to add. I want to spend this time asking
You're telling me a
Silver
coral
about...
beam rifle wouldn't kill a fucking...
Tenno are tanking nukes left and right. Huh?
A coral beam rifle is stronger than a nuke.
It can pierce defenses, but here's the thing. When a Tenno is outside of its warframe, the warframe's invincible until they enter it again. And Tenno can make themselves vulnerable to damage by dipping into the void.
What's a Tenno? What?
That's the pilots of the warframe.
Oh, they're machines.
The space mommy calls them.
Oh, are they the same size as AC?
Yeah, they're not. They're
No,
not
they're like
exactly
human-sized.
machines.
Oh, so how big are
It's
they?
it's complicated. Like human sized.
So how do you pilot it? If it's the size, is it like a suit?
It's kind of fucking
It's like
complicated.
you basically
there's
you astral project
transference
into it.
Yeah, what Silver said. But no, it's
Basically astral project into your warframe, and then you can leave your warframe temporarily in order to use your void powers.
That's another thing I was gonna run by you. I'm stuck on the sacrifice, where I gotta kill Umbra with my void powers.
Is that like a mission?
Yeah.
You should befriend each other and play with each other. Oh, you don't have PlayStation.
It's cross-platform, so it
yeah,
doesn't matter.
Warframe is cross-platform and cross-save and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, like I can take my
And you can
PlayStation
trade.
file, put it on my computer, put it on my Xbox.
Yeah, you and I can play together. Herbal. Anything. But that was my quick plug, and also because I've been,
If you,
killing.
I don't know.
I think you just gotta find a warframe that you like.
There was a fat warframe that I think I got.
There is a fat warframe. Its name is Grendel. It rolls around like Sonic and eats up the enemies.
I was thinking though, like you're we're like older guys, and we aren't like Warframe's a fast game, so I gravitated towards a frame that like just kind of insta damaged everything around me. Do you think Hildren would be a good one for Herbal?
Oh, Hildren would be a wonderful one.
That's what it's so good. You just stand near your enemies. You just stand near your enemies, and they fucking
And
burn
press a
up.
button every now and
yeah,
then.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what I do with Hildy is I put on Chroma's what was it? The energy ability, the one that changes depending on what color you are.
I just got a Chroma to do exactly that.
Sorry, Rusty. I really do not want to kill you, bruh. You're the homie. The AC is fire, badass. But I'm that nigga. And I guess it's a wrap.
Yeah, alright, I'll stop distracting.
No, you're good, I killed him.
The clearly superior series.
Bruh, you need to play this fucking game.
It would be interesting for a week.
Are you only a week?
I wouldn't go all full tilt on it like you did,
Bruh,
if I'm being honest.
Why not? You wouldn't want to.
Because I don't have that weird nostalgic
you don't like to customize
fondness.
your fucking.
I do, and that would keep me engaged for probably about a week.
Give me a D.
Maybe a bit more. But I watched the Las Vegas rally. Didn't even watch Harris, but I watched Walsh. And he's refreshing, man. He's coherent. He's fairly nice. He seems pleasant to hear. I think
You think we got it in the bag?
I kind of do. I kind of really do. Have you seen the latest polls?
Yeah.
Very promising.
But,
very promising.
Told us before that Trump was gonna lose.
You forget 2016. 2016 was never happened. Some alternate reality Marvel bullshit. I'm kind of pissed because I looked up the odds. This was before I was getting a regular paycheck. I looked up the odds on a political website you can bet with, and it was like 11 cents to a dollar for odds that Harris would not even win the presidency, just to get her, for her to become the candidate, the Democratic candidate. And this is back, you remember when I was like, oh yeah, Joe Biden's gonna drop out. And
So you're like, you should have took the fucking money.
I should have, man. That was like, what, 9-1 or something? Even just a little bit would have been worthwhile.
I can't get through to HQ.
No, the gambling's bad.
But yeah, no. You should have took those bets, honestly.
Main system activating combat mode.
Man, I am getting fucking lit.
If anyone sees you, handle it.
Code 1-5. Intruder sighted. It's just one.
How late you gonna be streaming today, Herbal?
Pretty late.
Because today's my free day, so I can stay up and watch Ratchet.
You're even down to watch Ratchet, my brother.
Yeah.
My nigga. Say it, Smooth.
Never.
Bro, you know fucking Rui said it, bro. Broke my heart.
With the bleep or without the bleep?
I've been no, without the bleep, because Crims gave him a pass.
What?
Like,
no, Rui, no.
Crims. So I've been giving Rui shit for it ever since.
Confirmed. Enemy squad destroyed. Move on to the next area.
I've been giving him shit ever since. But nah, it was just funny how it happened.
Where did that AC come from? What happened to the patrol squad?
Code 1-8. All units deploy for combat.
You're exposed to snipers from all corners. Keep moving or they'll shoot you down.
2 repair kits.
Yeah. I was gonna pop in and say hi. But I gotta bounce because I'm gonna burn through some Warframe. I'll be back in like a little bit later on in the evening.
Got about 2 hours. I think I'm gonna swap over to Ratchet.
Right now?
Yes, because I'm getting lit. So the whole hand-eye coordination, dodging shit is not working out right now.
Oh, you taking dab shots?
Yes. Here, go play Warframe. It's all good.
Nah, I mean, I can stick around for Ratchet if you're gonna jump right in.
Oh yeah.